Waking up tonight feels different for two reasons. For one, you are pleasantly surprised that your body mended reasonably well while you were resting. It comes with a caveat though, the hunger you feel is pronounced. It feels like a black dog on the edge of your vision, following you. But the thing that is really remarkable is waking up to the tune of an old cell phone ringing, and a known number is calling the phone you get from Mia. You pick up.
Keep that thing charged after all. You kept that old thing charged after all, huh? You alright?
Cut to the chase. I feel like shit. No, actually, I feel like shit.
Look, that's too bad, but I don't really care. I was just being polite. I'm calling with good news. Torque agreed to meeting you. There's a pub in the Bronx. Solids and Stripes. Be there tonight. Two things. Not drinking on the premises, so if you want to grab a snack, do it before setting foot on the borough. And the meeting is exclusively no powers. We'll be rubbing shoulders with commoners the whole evening, and also we don't trust you, so keep it casual or you'll blow it. Anything you'd like to add?
Callahan forbid me from meeting Torque. We should expect company. Will you protect me from Callahan? Yeah, I met Callahan yesterday. He kicked my ass and forbid me from meeting Torque. I'm not sure I should be there tonight. Sounds on the line.
Fuck!
More silence.
I can't promise you any protection on the way there, or the way back, but at the pub you'll be in Torque's domain. For all his posturing, Callahan doesn't have the balls to strike Torque directly. We'll post additional hang-arounds on the lookout. That's the best I can do. If Callahan got under your skin, I get it. I was in that spot once or twice too. All I got to say is, the risk is worth it. If you don't show tonight, I can't blame you, but it's a one-time offer only. You gotta hedge your bets. Just don't do anything stupid. You meet with us tonight. It better be in good faith.
She ends a call. First things first, you take the subway to York Street Station, walk to the front street, retrieve your car, and weigh your options while driving back to your haven. Go to meeting directly, drive around before going to the meeting, tell Sophie you can't meet with Torque. Feel an opportunity to trust the information. Yeah, feeding. First I feed when I go to a meeting, is what I think I'm gonna do. You've been doing this for a few good nights. You're getting a feel for it. You're learning what kind of predator you are and what kinds of bloods you crave. Bloods? Can you say that? You're so caught up in yesterday's problems and in this cloak and dagger debacle, what you're part of now, what the hunt feels almost automatic and casual tonight. A fragment of your surrenders control. Just minutes after you find your victim, coax them and drink from them, you find you've forgotten their face and what they were dressed like. Story of my life. I forget everyone, all the time. It only hits you once you look yourself in the eye in your car's rearview mirror. That was wrong. You can't let this become a norm. You hurt somebody, a human being. You're a monster. You just noticed? You need to stay mindful of this. You're a monster, but unless you let yourself off the hook, you can hold on to your humanity and let yourself slide down the spiral. Instead of clearing your mind, you clouded it further, and you're still no closer to a decision. It's not about the decision, it's about feeding, because the beast might do something crazy. Also, that window looks like it's on fire. Okay, drive around before going to the meeting. I am curious where it's gonna end up, but I think I'm gonna get snatched on the way then. If I go directly... Actually, yeah, I wanna drive around. Yeah, sure, let's go do that. You do intend to go visit Torque tonight, but you decide to first drive around a bit. Something tells you there might be somebody tight on you. It sounds sensible to try and lose them. You spend a good 2 hours looking in a rear view mirror and driving all around the city before finally driving into the Bronx. You take some basic precautions as you enter Torque's turf. You park a few streets across from where the pub is and walk towards it while keeping an eye out for anyone suspicious. That kindred for the most part look no different, but regular people makes things complicated, of course. If you've been followed or watched, it's going to be hard to tell. Okay, I just want to take a look around. Again, grimy, but beautiful in its own way. You reach the pub, shoot a final look around. There's nobody suspicious around as far as you can see, and open the door. The smell of cigarettes is overwhelming. The whole place has an aura about it. Constant mist hanging right under the ceiling. The lethargic fans do nothing to disperse it. Oh, and there's even an animated fan right there. You can barely see it. The constant crack of billiard balls and clinking of glasses tells you All you need to know about the clientele. Not a very vampiric place at all. You're wondering if you go to the address right. You apparently did. Mia's here. She motions you over to one of the few tables around.
Took your sweet time to get here. What, got cold feet? Never mind. Anyone followed you?
Not what I know of.
Fair enough. Before I introduce you, there's some outstanding business to discuss. I appreciate the help with getting the name out of Bruce. It's going to be a tough nut to crack, his master. She's one of the lawmen. Times where they'd sooner align with us than the camp. Anyway, this isn't the night for the history lesson. Torque has been waiting for you. He was impressed by your work so far. Here's your chance to shine. Don't blow it.
You walk toward one of the tables. A guy in a coat and a hat leans over to take his spot. Double screen of his balls. He is way ahead of the opponent, but the 8 ball is in a tricky position.
Hey, they're here.
Be with you in just a moment. The hit is fast, precise, and it sends a black ball exactly where the player wanted it. His opponent lets out a frustrated sigh. That's that. I believe that's $150 Joey. You're paying up now, or you won't up with stakes again. The disgruntled man accepts his defeat and pays up, and declares he's going to grab another beer. To a victor goes with spoils. Thank you kindly. He turns his full attention to you. The man's good looking, if somewhat gaunt and intense. His eyes especially seem to pierce right through to your core, but not in an unpleasant way. Name's Torque. I believe you're Joe. Sophie Langley's new plaything, is that right? That's right. How does everybody already knows that? Plaything? No. Let's go with that. Plaything? No, we're not lovers. Apologies then. We've heard that's kind of the default I hear. I did hear about your curious partnership though. Forgive my being real if you're right off the bat, but I like to know who it is I'm dealing with. So here's something that I've been scratching my head about. If you're with Langley and Langley's scam through and through, I'm told what it is you've come to accomplish here tonight. Sophie wants to meet with you. I'm here to spite Callahan. I'm here to learn more about Annex. To be honest, I kinda wanna spite Callahan. See, I met Boss Callahan yesterday. He had beaten and left me broken in the middle of nowhere. He told me I wasn't supposed to meet you. So I came here just to prove myself that I could. Now, that takes some balls. I admire your spirit, even if it sounds like a great way to finish this nightly existence of yours with a banger of you. But that's not the whole story, is it? Come on, come clean with me. I have to be honest, I wasn't lying about that. It wasn't the whole story, but yeah, I'm not lying about that. I'm here to learn more about the Anarchs. Sophie wants to meet with you. Let's go with that. I might be part of a camp, but I came here to learn about the movement. I met a few of you and you made a terrible first impression, but me and you seem different. Ain't that right? It's 'cause we are. I'm not one to brag, but I gotta say, us Anarchs have a bad reputation in New York for a good reason. Starts with a B and a C. Rhymes with Dro's Boogeyman. There's something else too, isn't there? Well, spit it out. I guess it's probably best to tell him about what set you off on this whole escapade. Sophie Langley wants to meet with you. Don't ask why, she didn't tell me. She just said it has something to do with gathering allies against Bruce Callahan. Is that a misspelling, or am I supposed to make fun of him by saying that? I'm here to arrange that meeting.
The fuck? I knew nothing about this, T. They lied to me.
Mia's furious. She's looking at the pool cue and at you as if she was figuring out the best combination for the two. There it is. Give them a break, Mia. It's not so easy to say that kind of thing to my face, I imagine. Well, ain't that an interesting proposition?
You can't be seriously thinking about meeting with Langley. She's hot like Cam. It's a trap, it must be.
It just might. He looks at you, pierces you with his unnaturally keen eyes. He's about to say something when the door opens in the back of the room.
Hey Torque, you got a guest. They're in the back.
Mia, won't you be a dear and keep our new friend company? I'll see what the commotion is.
Sure thing.
Oh boy, don't leave me alone with her. Torque tips his hat to you and walks to the back, joining the man who called for him. Mia glowers at you, this time weighing one of the pool balls in her hand. She looks like she's in half a mind to chuck it at your face. Well, I can probably take it.
You gotta be quite happy with yourself, bluffing your way in here.
Hey, but that works. Sorry it had to be this way. It's not just Sophie I'm here for. Might have started as a task for Sophie, but I'm glad I could meet you and Torque. Don't hold it against me.
No, I'm totally going to hold it against you, and for a while. You made me look like a chump in front of Torque.
Well, yeah, I did.
Here I was beginning to think you might have a good addition to our little family. There's a whole lot of trust you'll have to regain before that happens now.
Well, I did come out and say everything, you know. Torque appears from a door in the back and calls across the room.
Yo, Mia!
Can I grab you for a second? Joe, get over here too. You go to the back room. It's basically a storage area with a single wooden desk. It's pretty cramped, especially considering there's 5 other people in there with you. Torque is ushering you in, closes the door behind you and Mia. 2 burly dudes are holding somebody down. A familiar voice reaches your ears.
Motherfuckers, you gotta pay for this, you hear me? The boss is gonna fuck you up so bad you have no idea.
Have you had the doubtful pleasure of meeting Mr. Karuti before, Joe? Yeah, we met yesterday. You could say that. You could say that.
You're fucked! You're so fucked you don't even know it, you stupid piece of shit. I should have ended you yesterday. The boss told you the same way, you should have listened.
That's a story and a half, ain't it, Vince? Calm down now and tell me how many of you guys are still out there on my turf, huh?
Go fuck yourself, we're done. The boss knows will know the stupid piece of shit Legend came here. He knows very plainly. You know what that means, Torque?
No, I don't. What does it mean, Vince?
Now the boss can wipe you out. He'll just say you're sucking Langley's tits, and all those body of yours, gone. You're done, Torque.
Well now, if that's the case, I guess riding NYC of your toty ass won't make things any worse, will it? Actually, here's an idea. Vince mentioned he beat you up yesterday. Did I hear that right, Joe? You want to repay the favor? Gladly. Go right ahead. Why is that red? I feel like the red option might be better. Hurt Vince a lot. I do want to hurt him though. You hit Vince once, twice. He's chuckling in the beginning, but you focus your blood for some extra oomph and keep hitting him, and again, more, until he stops laughing. He's bruised, battered and broken. The 2 Annex dudes let go of him and you kick him some more as he's on the floor. You only stop when you hear Torque's voice. Enough is enough, Joe. He takes an old pool cue and breaks it over his knee. Stake him and take him downstairs. Let's keep Callahan guessing about what happened to his favorite puppy. Mia takes a sharp piece of wood and jams it into Vince's chest. His features grow slack, his entire body inert. He doesn't even give you out a yelp. The other 2 Anarchs take him outside the room. As entertaining as that was, I think Vince and his unmatched wisdom shared more than Callahan would hope for. This changes things. I've heard about Operation Lights Out, Joe. It was a second Inquisition effort here in NYC. A single night of raids at a magnitude never seen before or since. Every tower got away with just a few losses here or there. No major players were hit. They managed to find safe spots and stay out of the eye of a shitstorm. Us though? They've got hit hard, all over town. Havens were just rooted out, entire coteries and safe houses gone just like that. Nobody saw it coming, I barely got out in one piece. He looks at him with concern and puts a hand on his arm. He shrugs it off, gently but surely. Others, like my child Barb, or mere sire, extinguished. But you know who got out without a scratch? Callahan. We thought about it for the past few years, how it is, what Big B manages to excuse himself from a museum on Staten Island where we used to meet, just before vans full of guys in body armor show up. How is it my baby is burning up after being shot with incendiary rounds? I also see Doug Callahan running with his tail between his legs, pushing Fledgling like you in the path of his SI. I think the bastard knew what was coming and he set us up. Not just that, some of our brothers and sisters who got hit had some of the lowest profiles in the city's league population. The moral of the story, Callahan is an opportunistic motherfucker, and if even his thickest followers suggest he's going to sell me out, and that's what he's going to do as sure as the sun rises. He pauses for a moment and you see him reaching a decision. He said something about Langley having an offer for me. It might be your fault in part what I'm at this juncture, but now's going to be as good a time as any to listen to what she has to say.
I don't think that's wise, T.
Well, what did you have me do then?
You said it yourself. It's always Fledgling's fault. They brought this on us. So let's use them as a bargaining chip. Callahan wants them. Langley needs them. They're valuable.
I'm valuable? Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. Nobody said that about me before. Not once. That's so kind of you. No, you're wrong. I'm just a pawn. That's why Sophie sent me here. Possible deniability and all that. I'm expendable. The realization what you just summarized the entirety of the last 2 weeks or so hits your heart, but if there was a moment for being honest with yourself, it's now.
Fuck!
Glenn puts his hand on Mia's shoulders. She calms down for a bit. You're afraid, Joe, but then what else is new? It's a paradox being who we are. We hunted one night, we hunted another. Masters of the night, slaves to dawn. A duality to everything. Mia, I understand your concern, but I need you to trust me like you did before. This is my call and my responsibility. You can give me shit about it later, like I'm sure you will.
Count on it.
I kinda start to like her. He smiles and takes on a no bullshit look and points at you. 3 conditions. First, you can pick me up personally and bring me to the meeting spot. Anything else sideways, it's your ass. What if it's Callahan? Second, Mia's coming with me. No 2 ways about it. 8 eyeballs in the meeting. The 2 of you, the 2 of us. Nobody else. And third, the meeting is public downtown, some spot frequented by mortals. We see you take us anywhere fishy. We check out and fuck you up as a message to Langley. I count on it not coming to that though. You seem likable enough. The camp hasn't gotten its talons in you yet. Keep it up and maybe you'll come to the same conclusion we did in your own time. Wait and see. I'll repeat your condition to Sophie. I doubt it's dangerous being an anarch. You know what? No, I want to stick with them. I want to be an anarch my first playthrough. I'll make sure to repeat your conditions to Sophie. You do that. Best be on your way. Ask for me here when you need me. The bartender knows how to reach me. Just ask him to put the owner on the line. Mia walks you to the front door and accompanies you to the car.
Listen, about what I said before.
Yeah, what about it? I hope you're about to apologize. Yeah, what about it?
I panicked. That's all it was. It wasn't fair what I said. If anything, it's my fault. I'm angry with myself and that makes me angry with you. Ah, forget it. See ya.
She starts walking back to the bar as you start the engine and head back to Sophie's apartment. Oh, she's feeling conscious. Conscientious, whatever. Anyway, she is feeling responsible. That's kinda cute. Time to give Sophie the good news. She welcomes you as openly as ever, clearly excited to see you and for what you bring in with you.
Joe, good evening. How's your test going? Have something for me, perhaps?
I did what you asked. It's done, but cost me dearly. I did what you asked. The meeting is set up.
Excellent. Experienced any problems?
Why aren't you smoking anymore? Callahan forbid me to meet with Torque. Torque doesn't trust you. Callahan's goon threatened Torque. I don't want her to know about Callahan. I am trying to keep as much information from her as possible. Let's go with this. Torque doesn't trust you. He has a list of conditions if you want to meet him.
I would assume that's the case. Well, let's hear it. What did Torque agree to?
He laid the Anarch's leader conditions. You are to pick him and Mia up, and what the meeting should only include the 4 of you, and should be held in a public space.
Those are all fair enough, although I do worry about that Mia character. Tell me, do you think she's trustworthy?
Torque trusts her. She's fine for an anarch. She's fine for an anarch. I met some anarchs in the past few nights, and she was one of the more agreeable ones. She's fine, I guess.
I see. Very well. As for the place, I wonder if they would agree to meet in Hudson Yards, the vessel. Plenty of tourists visit that place, but if we go there after midnight...
She seems to have made up her mind.
Yes, bring them there tomorrow night. Look for me near the top level.
Tomorrow, so soon? Will we agree to meet in the city? Tomorrow's is already? I don't think we're expecting me back so soon.
Yes, tomorrow. For reasons what shall be made obvious when we talk. Pick them up at midnight and drive back to Midtown. That's the plan. I'll be waiting as long as it takes, within reason. I'm counting on you, Joe. The final piece of the puzzle is about to find its way to its destination. And after that we all get our just reward. You, me, the Camarilla, even the Anarchs. I could kiss you.
Yes, you'd like that. You desire it. She must have caught you in your expression. She smiles.
A figure of speech, darling. Or at least it is tonight, but a few nights from now, who knows? I'm growing fond of you. And success whets my appetite for these kinds of things.
Okay, so one thing to keep in mind is the fact that vampires can't have sex. But that was made clear when you were introduced to being a vampire in Bloodlines. The sexual tension in the room becomes insufferable until it suddenly disappears. Was this now one of Sophie's tricks? Yes, it was. Or is it an actual spark of arousal in both of your undead bodies? That can't happen though. You suddenly felt the blood flow through you for a short moment. Warmth from your groin takes you by surprise. You didn't think you could do it anymore, or did you just imagine it?
Warmth in your groin.
He's the rest of the night well, Joe, and rest. We're about a day sleep away from shaking the city awake.
Is it done? Okay, might as well go do that. Okay, so again, it's not actually him saying that, but this game is definitely really buggy for a visual novel. Those things don't frequently happen. Knowing there are only so many places with good enough view on Haddon Bridge, you decide to check the ones that aren't likely to be crowded at this time of night. It doesn't take long before you hit a jackpot, Jane's carousal. As you're walking the pier, you notice a lonely figure sitting on a bench, still flask in hand, with his legs up on the railing. Soon enough you hear a familiar voice.
Evidence of it tonight, and as the final flickering rays of sunlight gave way to the kind nocturnal shadows, so did the last of the jabbering tourists gave way to a blessed silence, and yet I couldn't shake the feeling.
Pausing mid-sentence, he leans back over the bench, backrest, and looks straight at you. Upside down, his face looks even creepier than usual.
But I wasn't alone.
What is it you're narrating? What's in the flask? That flask, is that what I think it is?
Depends on what you think. It's a little something from my private reserve. I call it the Drunken Sailor, because that's probably where it came from. I tend not to ask, but the warlock prepared this knows what I lack.
He takes a sip and points the flask in your general direction.
Want some?
Yeah, I do. No, say yes, you need to feed.
God damn it.
Thanks, but no thanks.
Just yourself, kid, you're missing out. And hey, if you like your bed, you're sober. There's been another one, killing down by the docks.
Same MO? Same MO with blood and graffiti?
Yeah, it was a girl, alright. Victim sucked dry semen before, and on the side of the wall. Something about them beating gentlemen, oh lord, they kill me. This particular escaped me. You know what, that night I saw her, she looked so frail, so innocent. Deep inside I was hoping she'd be spooked, get out of town, and maybe, just maybe, that would be the end of it. But that's me, you know, hopelessly optimistic.
You know why she's doing it, so what's the plan? Any idea where she is? Any idea where she is? Do you have any idea where she might be?
So kid, I'm fresh out of ideas.
He raises the flask.
Refilling as you speak.
And takes a swig, as if to illustrate a point.
So, anyway, I set up a meeting. Neutral ground, public place, shall get too ugly. Still, I was hoping you could tag along.
Larson? Is it Larson again?
Nah, let's leave that pushmark alone for now. It's pretty clear he's just as clueless as we are.
He looks away and taps on the bench next to him, where he's sitting.
You might want to sit there for this one.
Can't be that bad. We're meeting your parents. Oh, I have to pick this one. Unless you want to introduce me to your parents, I can probably handle it. Come on, who is it?
Valerie.
I'm sorry, I must have misheard you. Murderous bitch from last time? Valerie? As in that murderous bitch Valerie? Likes to choke people a lot for fuck of it? Valerie? That Valerie?
Never noticed what you repeat word enough times, it just starts to sound like animal noises.
It does.
But yeah, that Valerie. I know you didn't exactly hit it off, but she's not as bad as you might think. I mean, in some respects, she's probably worse, as she can be reasoned with.
Once again he goes for the flask, but stops himself mid-motion.
Look, the way I see it, we ain't got no choice. As much as I wanna help Sana, she's clearly a few bets short of Belfry.
Belfry. I don't know what the word is. Most people are gonna die unless we do something about it. I get it, lesser of two evils. I still don't like it. You think Valerie can be trusted? Let's go. I don't like it. I'll tag along if you need me, but for the record, I really don't want to.
Me neither, kid. But if there's one thing life has taught me, you don't always get what you want.
Noticeably proud of his words of wisdom, he tries to top him with one last swig. A single drop falls between his crooked teeth. He looks at the empty flask with utmost contempt.
Well, ain't that fucking poignant?
Muttering a curse under his breath, he takes a valiant effort to get up off the bench. As he staggers, struggling to remain upright, you offer a shoulder to lean on. He shoots you a smile as crooked as it is affectionate.
Hey, kid.
You meet his gaze, trying to look friendly rather than condescending.
You're alright.
In that heartfelt moment, you beat adieu to a sprawling vista and make your way toward the bridge. Next stop, Manhattan. Entering the park from Midtown Manhattan, you promptly take a spot by one of the alleys, not very deep into the park. Minutes pass, 5, 10, 15, you start to wonder if she's ever gonna show up. Suddenly you hear a familiar voice, but an unfamiliar tone. She sounds almost nice.
Hello, Jeannie.
There she is, walking along the side of a fountain. She looks less out of place when back at the junk-infested hovel, but only by a small margin. Something tells you there are only so many places she would feel at home, and probably not ones you would want to find yourself in.
Well,
she glances over at you, barely noting your presence.
Sorry about last time. Nothing personal, you understand. When I get caught up in the moment, I get a bit intense.
I can attest to that.
Get a room, you two. Can you two just get a room, because the sexual tension is just unbearable? D'Angelo gives you a pleading look. He clearly doesn't want you to dwell on the subject.
You hear that, Ginny? Your friend has us all figured out.
Oh my god, she's playing along. She takes a step toward you. The smell of her perfume is overpowering.
Or maybe it's just jealousy.
Oh, I like her.
Although I'd be careful if I were you. Last time we got close, it didn't exactly work out for you. Speaking of which, how's that neck doing?
It's fine. I barely felt it anyway. She can tell you're lying. You can tell she's enjoying herself. I do like her.
I'm so glad. Now let's get down to business.
We have a proposition for you. It's about Sana. We're here to talk about Sana, although I think D'Angelo should be the one talking about this.
Who? Alright, Thin Blood. What about her?
The girl's a threat. I need to find her. Figured we can do it faster if we walk together.
Keep going, honey, cause I have a feeling there's a catch coming.
A catch is...
Awkward silence. It's not often you see him at a loss for words. Seeing him struggle, you decide to jump in. We want her alive. We want the girl to stay alive.
See, enough, that's a deal breaker right there, sugar. If you want me to even consider it, you'll have to sweeten the pot.
Once again, she turns to D'Angelo.
And I bet tall, dark, and handsome over here might have some ideas.
Oh, she's so snarky, I love it. I don't like where this is going. You want the Yes. I think she just wants to get her hands into your cookie jar. They both look at you wide-eyed. I would just remain silent, just completely stone-faced. Oh my god, the writing here, I definitely had too much fun writing this. I meant that. I meant it. Oh god, that didn't come out right. I mean, literally not. Wait, what were we talking about? D'Angelo rolls his eyes hard.
She wants a high-profile target to show off to a prince what a good little scourge she is. That's all you care about nowadays, huh? Playing the game, climbing the ranks.
Smile creeps up on her lips. You can tell it's forced. D'Angelo definitely knows how to get under her skin.
That's my Jeannie. Big ol' brain and hard to match. Once again she turns to you. I knew right away he'd try to help this girl. He just loves himself a damsel in distress. But you, I'm still not sure what your angle is.
Honestly, I'm curious. It's the right thing to do, same as you, advancement. What do you care? What do you care?
I don't, honey. Not really. It's called making conversation.
Conservation.
So there, you know my terms. Contact me when you've made up your mind. Don't take too long though, I'm like a girl. I might just find your little Finn blood on my own. Still, I hope we can work together. We did make a good team back in the day. Didn't we?
Slowly, seductively, she puts her arms on his shoulders. She glances over to you, clearly enjoying how awkward it makes you feel. Okay, now it's just getting creepier. You have a thing for Nosferatu? You have a thing for Nosferatu? You really do have a thing for the hidden, don't you? My things are none of your concern, sugar. Anyway, drawn through a strange half-embrace, she flicks D'Angelo's nose gently with her index finger. Almost instantly, she turns from flirtatious to dispassionate.
However this plays out, I have a feeling we'll meet again, sooner than later. Until then...
But, sparing you another glance, she disappears down an unlit park alley. D'Angelo watches her go. The look on his face, a mixture of longing and guilt, is borderline comical. Finally, he turns back toward you, as if breaking some spell he was under.
Yeah, that could have gone a lot worse.
What just happened? Were you and her a thing? Okay, I have to ask, did you and her ever...
No, not going there. And I got some history. Some good, some bad, let's leave it at that. Hey kid, don't be fooled. Ed likes to play around, but she'll rip your fucking guts out and stuff them up your ass. If it means she can get what she wants. And right now, she wants me to give her a lesson.
Why would she want Larson? How is he involved? Wait, what does Larson have to do with any of this?
He doesn't, not directly. Just what he might have some loss and admirable chapters in his biography might have done some pretty egregious shit. Shite, and Larry knows a certain handsome someone might have evidence of such shit, which would allow her to bring him down and bring him down a primogen in his name as Larson is a pretty big deal.
He squints up and the bridge of his nose.
Fuck it, I made it back to the office. It's to get my feet up. Get some blood flowing to her old noggin.
You can't do it though.
You coming?
You're not vibing hell not, and so you make your way towards 5th Avenue. You got a long way ahead of you, and a lot of stuff to figure out. Although it's not your first visit, you still find it hard to navigate the dark, rust-hidden corners of a grain terminal. Luckily this time you're with someone who could possibly do this blindfolded, so you just follow his lead. As you both climb in the rickety stairs leading to the mezzanine, you suddenly notice a light coming from D'Angelo's office. A quick look assures you that no, he did not in fact leave it on. You bust through the door, like in the Tango and Hooch, or was that Turner and Cash? Ready to unleash unholy fury on the intruders. You have expected an Arc Death Squad or an SI hunting party. Instead, you get Larson, who nearly falls out of a chair when you two bust in. Missed us already? Well, look who it is. Missed us already.
Hardly.
Seemingly both intrigued and irritated by the strange visit, D'Angelo walks over to a cabinet and pulls out a fresh cigar.
And may I ask what brings you here, oh valuable primogen, to my humble abode?
Her. He points to a tiny shadow covering in the corner of the room. To your astonishment, it turns out to be a very familiar face.
Blood, no, not again, please.
Where did you find her? Did she tell you anything? Did she tell you anything?
She just keeps blabbering about blood and signs and all that nonsense. She came to my house, probably figured out who I was, thought I could help, but honestly I have no idea what to do with her. I mean, I should turn her over to a prince, but that's just another strike against my people. Then again, I can't just set her loose, not after what she did. Fuck, D'Angelo, you can tell I'm desperate if my first instinct was to come to you.
No, Lawson, I would attribute that decision to what's left of your common sense.
He leans over to you.
Hey kid, I think we should call it a night. Just give me some time to talk to a girl. Maybe I'll get through to her somehow.
The sign, it's always there.
Oh, I ain't holding my breath.
Honestly, you're glad to leave him to it. Spending the night in the small room with a tiny serial killer somehow doesn't seem too appealing. Still, you're hoping D'Angelo will be alright. He's got some tough choices ahead of him.